Hello, and welcome to Canadian Rights Reviews, where we examine the ins and outs of Canadian rights, freedoms, laws, and policies. Today's video comes to us from SOS in these last days of a police stop in Abbotsford, BC. As the driver was leaving a liquor store parking lot, he noticed an unmarked police vehicle, which then followed him out of the lot and for several blocks, prior to pulling him over.
What is she doing? I'm just gonna ask her straight up what she's even doing.
Get rid of those back there.
I am gonna put them back there. No, I'm gonna keep the bag up here with me. What's she gonna say? What?
Hey, just be quiet, please. Hi, how you doing, miss?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Can I help you?
Yeah, a driver's license registration, please. Gonna check you for sobriety.
Okay.
Driver's license, insurance, and your cracked windshield.
So what did you pull me over for?
Well, I told you. Driver's license, registration, and sobriety.
What did you pull me over for?
Yeah, but
I already just told you that.
no.
No, you didn't.
Driver's license,
You're just checking my driver's license?
and sobriety.
So
I told you that. Three
so
things
just
where
randomly-
any police
Okay,
officer
so you can just
pull
pull us
you
over.
over
No,
at
that's
any
not true.
time to pull
That is not
check you
pull us over
for
like
driver's
that.
license, registration,
Miss, you're allowed.
and
can't.
sobriety.
You still have to have a reason to pull me over.
You can't just pull
Driver's
someone over for
license,
being in a liquor
registration,
store.
Okay,
and
please.
sobriety.
As I have previously covered in another video, the Supreme Court of Canada has long held that police, indeed, may pull you over to check your license, documentation, mechanical fitness of vehicle, and sobriety. The best reference to this, from the court, is the 1990 case of RV La Dossier. What the driver and passenger are failing to understand is, the officer is providing reasoning. They are not understanding, due to their belief that an infraction is required. This is not an uncommon belief, which stems from watching too much American television and YouTube videos. There are some cases that have been challenged, and one, where these reasons were only used as a guise or excuse, to initiate a stop that had an ulterior motive. In the 2016 Ontario case of RV Fagan, the officer stated he pulled over the defendant for a sobriety check. Mr. Fagan was charged with failure to provide a breath sample. Ultimately, after review of all the evidence, the judge did not believe the officer in his initial stated intent. The stop was ruled an arbitrary detention under Section 9 of the Charter, and the charge was dismissed. While the stop in this video, along with almost any other random stop, has the possibility of being ruled as arbitrary, we cannot even begin to assess the viability of that, with the information we have available. It is very important to note, that in the case of RV Fagan, the date of the stop was in April 2013. It is very possible, that the same case with the same conditions, for a stop after December 17, 2018, may have a very different outcome. On December 18, 2018, Bill C-46 came into effect. The changes provided greater power to the police during motor vehicle stops, primarily as it relates to sobriety. Prior to this change, police required a reasonable suspicion of impairment to demand a breath sample. 320.27, Section 2, of the Canadian Criminal Code, provides the new law of mandatory alcohol screening, on demand, without reasonable suspicion. It is important to note the language of, and to accompany the peace officer for that purpose. The police do not have to let you stay in your car, and provide the sample through an open window. You can be ordered out of the vehicle. 320.15, of the Canadian Criminal Code, outlines that it is an offence to refuse to comply with the demand to provide a mandatory breath sample. 320.19, Section 1, provides escalating punishments for offences, up to a maximum of 10 years imprisonment. Further, 320.19, Section 4, notes the minimum fine on first offence, for failing to comply to provide a mandatory breath sample, shall not be less than $2,000. Additionally, each province or territory will have their own laws and fees. For British Columbia, these are derived from the BC Motor Vehicle Act and Insurance Corporation of BC. While the penalties against the Canadian Criminal Code are upon conviction, those shown here for BC are immediate, should you choose to refuse a demand for a mandatory breath sample in British Columbia. You will be immediately forced to surrender your license, and prohibited from driving for 90 days. Your vehicle will be impounded, and held for 30 days. You will be subject to provincial monetary penalties and fees, of not less than $1,430. Further, upon conviction you face escalating penalties, which include, at minimum, an additional $2,000 fine for a first offense, up to a maximum of 10 years imprisonment. For a grand total of $3,430, at minimum, on first offense, taxes not included.
And your windshield is cracked.
That's not
No,
why you pulled
that's
me
not
over.
why you
That's
pulled us
called
over.
us
You just said.
afterwards.
I'm going to ask you again. Driver's license, registration, and I'm going to check you for sobriety. 3 reasons.
That's fine.
why
He's
I pulled
100%
you over.
sober, so
Okay,
he
well,
will give you.
that's fine.
You can check him all you want.
Driver's license, registration, and sobriety. Turn off the ignition, and you'll be coming to the back of the car for me, please.
For what?
He's not.
You can record this as much as you would
Well, no,
like
because
to.
you have to have a reason to pull me
Driver's
over. I didn't do
license,
anything wrong. What
Just
did
give
I?
her your license. Hey, bro,
Okay.
give her your license.
Stop.
Tango 1, can I get a cover unit on
No,
a
give her
real,
your
please?
license. Give her your license.
Please stop, bro.
Just give her your license.
Okay, and your registration.
Give her your registration. Just do it. We'll get rid of it. Just get rid of her.
See that gray folder right there?
Which one?
That one
This
right there.
Just give her.
I know I can record it, miss. You still have to have a
Driver's license, registration, and
repeating it
sobriety.
over and over doesn't change the fact that you haven't had a what law did I break?
Driver's license, registration, and insurance papers, please.
What law
Please
did I
turn off your ignition. And
What law did I
What
break?
law did he break?
I'm not getting out of the vehicle.
Okay, well then you can do your sobriety. You have to because
He's
I
actually-
checked
I don't
your
have to.
sobriety.
He
I'd like a
doesn't have-
supervisor here.
Okay. What I'm asking
I would
you
like to know
do,
what I did that was against the law.
driver's license, registration.
You were sitting in
Okay,
a liquor
repeating
store
that over and
parking lot.
over.
You've asked me over and over again.
But what
and
did
I'm
I
telling
do
you over
to-
and over
what-
again that
This
you can
lady
be
just
over
pulled him over
to check
randomly
the
because
driver's
he was sitting in a
license,
liquor store parking
vehicle
lot.
registration, and
Without cause.
yes.
Oh, really?
You can't
That's
do
it.
that.
You can check
Okay,
for driver's
I'm
license,
actually a
registration,
lawyer. You
and
cannot
I would
do
like
that.
to know-
sobriety.
I will show you the law.
And you have a cracked windshield.
That,
which
that's
you'll be
you
getting
pulled
a
this. You
ticket
found
for.
which I. What am I getting a ticket for?
Because you're.
So you
driving
pull me
with a
over
cracked
to inspect
windshield.
my vehicle?
Okay, sir, step out of your car so we can check your sobriety.
Just blow. You're 100% good.
Miss, you're making a
Put your phone
mistake.
down.
No, the phone's coming with me for my protection.
No, you can't use that while
Yes,
you're doing
I
it. You
can.
can put it away.
No, I
in
have the
your
right
pocket.
through the First Amendment to.
Okay, and you know what? That could be a weapon too. So I'm asking.
For this interaction, both the driver and the officer get a pass, grudgingly. While the driver was clearly uneducated on when he can be pulled over, he was not rude and ultimately complied. The officer could have done a better job explaining the law to a clearly confused driver, but was also not rude and operating well within the law, as far as we can see. Our passenger gets a fail. Considering the video, his claim to be a lawyer is ridiculous. He doesn't even warrant our stamp and sound effect. We will update you further if we learn of any meaningful developments in this case. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.